This adult-only hotel is in a tranquil part of the island. You can reach the city center in about 15 minutes by car. You can easily rent a vehicle, there are different agencies even near the hotel. We rented an ATV from this company, Caretta Car and Bike Rentals, and we highly recommend this service. The quad was in perfect condition, helmets were brand new and the guy was very kind and professional. You can check their website in the link in the description below. Transportation from the airport to the hotel was flawless, there was no waiting time and the vehicle, Range Rover, was in good condition. Upon our arrival at the hotel, we were greeted very well. Fresh towels, water and a refreshing ice cream accompanied us during check-in. The room was not ready yet, but we arrived 3 hours before the official check-in time. Anyway, they made available to us the changing rooms of the gym, so we had the opportunity to wait in the pool. A little less than an hour later, they inform us that our room is ready, and we are personally accompanied. The room is exactly as described on the website. Sure, it is bright and clean, but it is not in perfect condition. Some lights on the ceiling do not work, the whirlpool maintenance door is not attached to the tub and tends to open, some buttons on the TV remote do not work. We also found the toilet rather uncomfortable, mainly due to the opening of the door and the size of the bathroom itself. The lack of scale is not a big deal, but from a 5-star hotel we expect to have this accessory as well. On the positive side, amenities are wrapped in paper instead of plastic. The Wi-Fi had 2 problems, on the terrace, there was almost no coverage, and in the room, it was very slow. Even a simple Wi-Fi call with no video was almost impossible to accomplish. The hotel has a private beach with beds and umbrellas. It's easy to find free places, especially in the morning. The beach itself is not very large, but during our stay, it was never overcrowded. The sunbeds were pretty comfortable, but your relax might be ruined by jet ski driving in front of the beach at high speed. They were very noisy, the water sport rental service just next to the hotel doesn't help in this sense. Also, bear in mind that smoking is permitted, so if you, like us, don't appreciate the smell of the smoke, you should take this into consideration as well. The Gaia restaurant overlooks the beach and sea. They essentially have a la carte menu, but the idea is that you get the tasting menu. As we mentioned before, the location is very nice, unfortunately the service is not top-notch. At the beginning, they seemed to be a bit confused about who was in charge for what, then they asked us 3 times which kind of water we would like to drink, and the first waiter, who said he was our waiter for that evening, never showed up again during the entire dinner. Finally, we were able to talk with another waiter. We received the amuse-bouche, they were well presented and tasteful. We were still enjoying the beginning of the dinner, when another waiter came and started to take our amuse-bouche. We politely asked to leave it there, explaining we were not finished yet. The wine list is surely complete, but the prices are very well above average. One of the biggest issues is that they only have a few wines by glass, which might not appeal to everyone. This was our first dining experience at Lesante Blue, but we immediately realized that they try very hard to upsell you almost everything. From the wine to the room service, more on that later, you can easily tell they have been instructed to do so. Breakfast is served on the terrace with a beautiful view of the sea and swimming pool. Considering the class of the hotel, we were very surprised about the lack of fish in the buffet. Overall, the quality was acceptable, well presented but with some mishaps. Some descriptions were totally missing, but on the plus side there's the possibility to order eggs and pancakes even gluten and sugar-free. This is not that common, especially in Greece. During our stay, the breakfast was almost always the same, we can't say the same thing about the service. It happened more than once that one waiter asked which type of water we would like to drink, and literally 30 seconds later, another waiter asks the same question. Also, it happened that nobody asked for coffee, or the menu was totally missing from the table. This lack of attention is clearly visible on the buffet as well. Some plates were dirty, and nobody noticed for at least 1 hour. Also, more than once we asked for a spoon or fork because they were simply not present on the table, or they were of the wrong size. Also here, smoking is permitted, that's very unfortunate. The hotel has a well-equipped gym, sometime a bit too cold, but that's just to our personal taste. Some devices were not state-of-the-art but still usable. The third day, we opted for the private dining, but before that, we ordered some food in the room. The delivery was very fast, but when we called to order, they again tried to sell us wine, water, appetizers and bread. We are totally okay when they remind you that you can order more, but when you say the very same thing 3 times in a row, even when we clarify we were not interested in ordering more, it starts to be a bit annoying. Later in the evening, we head for our private dining. It's on a private terrace overlooking the sea just below the main restaurant. It's not the best location in the world, but quite intimate. We legitimately don't know what happened, but we arrived at the restaurant at 7 p.m. but started to eat only 1 hour later. The waiter was very nice to us, and the overall service was very good. The menu unfortunately, was pretty much the same as we ate the day before. The best part was the show setup for the dessert, even though we felt the embarrassment of the chef. On the last day, we leave very early in the morning and the hotel prepares a picnic breakfast for us. Nice gesture. All in all, a pleasant experience, but nothing to call home about. Let's start by saying that nowhere on the private dining menu is mentioned that there's a surcharge of 80 euros for the waiter. This is very uncommon given the fact there's no way to avoid the private waiter. About 2 weeks before our arrival, we had to ask again for confirmation for the private dinner. They apologized for the late reply and finally they mentioned the 80 euros charge. It was a bit disappointing, but we accepted. When you offer a private dining experience, it must be top-notch in all aspects. Waiting more than 1 hour before starting the dinner is unacceptable and unpleasant. In 2023, the Wi-Fi must be working flawlessly. It is unacceptable that in the terrace there is no coverage and even a simple call is not possible. At this price tag, you expect some standard as a given. The hotel lacks a personal touch, especially to the customers. Focusing on details is a very important part to distinguish yourself from the concurrent, but what's the point of having a very smooth check-in process when half of the time, the person in charge of bringing you to your seat for breakfast is not present and you wait literally minutes at the front door? We experienced far better holidays in Greece in the past, yet this wasn't the worst so far, but still our expectations were higher. We hope you enjoyed our review. Feel free to leave a comment and like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and, as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for real-time updates on our experiences.